Michelle, how many auto workers face termination if they don't get double jabbed by a certain date?
All of us. All of us.
When you ask why is our union not sticking up for the rights that they had stood upon, that was the very fabric of what unions were around for.
Right now, our union president, Jerry Diaz, hasn't been sticking up for us when he should be down here and he should be pushing against these mandates. And that's why we're here. That's why we're in front of the Unifor office right now, is to ask Jerry questions.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. Well, folks, I'm outside Unifor's headquarters, and about 100 members of the rank and file have shown up. They're very disappointed with their union. The president, Jerry Diaz, he has told them when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccinations, essentially get the jabs or lose your job. So much for solidarity forever, so much for reasonable accommodation, so much for my body, my choice. Now, interestingly, the Unifor headquarters is closed as though there's a bomb threat. Jerry has told the staff to work at home. The police have been called in for security, but none of these people are wearing trouble on their shirt. In any event, let's go out and find from these people why they think that unions are on the same side as management and government when it comes to the COVID-19 mandatory vaccinations. What brings you out to this protest today?
We're out here right now because we believe in freedom of choice. Right now, we're getting coerced into getting vaccinated. I'm vaxxed myself, but I just don't believe in these mandates at all. I think we have the right to choose, and I think that's a very important right that we have. It's a very sacred right, and it's a human right, and I feel like that's being trampled on right now.
What's going on here is completely illegal, I believe, and it's government overreach, and I do not agree with this at all.
We have no intention of causing any problems. We're here to be obedient, civil. We just want to talk to Jerry. Unfortunately, Jerry's not here.
Right now, our union president, Jerry Diaz, hasn't been sticking up for us when he should be down here and he should be pushing against these mandates. And that's why we're here. That's why we're in front of the Unifor office right now, is to ask Jerry questions.
I'm not happy with this position. Very disappointed. To me, what our charter rights stand for is something that should not even be questioned. It shouldn't even be something in their, like a question in their minds. It should be automatic. So, as far as I'm concerned, what they're pushing with this mandates are not correct.
When you ask why is our union not sticking up for the rights that they had stood upon, that was the very fabric of what unions were around for, was to stand up for our rights. And the fact that they're pushing it so fast, like you said, we've been working through this pandemic for the last 2 years, masks on our face 5 to 6 days a week. For them to be throwing it in our face now that we need to be going out and getting mandated to get vaccine or get vaccinated is just absolutely crazy to think about.
You yourself, as you said, you've got the jabs, and so you're not demonizing the people that want to keep their medical history private, which is the way it used to be. But you believe, I take it, that nobody should be coerced out of their job because they don't want to reveal their vaccination status.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also believe that vaccinations are a good thing, and obviously we should encourage vaccinations, but we shouldn't be coercing people into doing something against their own will.
I don't understand why they're failing to represent all of the members by imposing by agreeing to these mandates.
We don't understand it. Like, personally, I'm retired, but my wife has a year to go, and now she has to make a choice between her job, her pension, and getting a shot.
I mean, I expect that our union leadership would stand behind us and say, you know what, your personal choices and your charter rights and freedoms must be protected. I'm not sure what's going through their minds. Maybe it's I don't know. I'm speculating, but as far as I'm concerned, it is not a question. It is not something that that should be questioned. It should be taken automatically, and that should be the first thing that they look at.
We know that Trudeau has already said he's invested to vaccines till 2024. Okay, Doug Ford wants to come out and say that we're going to be releasing restrictions. I hope to God he's right. But at the end of the day, this all boils down to money. And there's no two ways about it, because like we just said, how could we go 2 years throughout the pandemic, no issues, and now coming to the tail end of it supposedly, right? We gotta push for this.
Michelle, how many auto workers face termination if they don't get double jabbed by a certain date?
All of us. Every single unvaccinated person who doesn't have the vaccine, our jobs are being threatened. They're forcing you to either do it, lose your job, but people have families, houses, homes, rent, mortgage.
It's in the plan. Nobody talks about their status. Nobody says, hey, are you vaccinated? Or hey, are you unvaccinated? It's something that we go about our jobs, we wear our masks, and we get our work done.
This is a big story. Where is the mainstream media in covering this protest, most of whom are Unifor rank and file members themselves?
You know what? That's a really good question, because it seems like these guys have been hiding for the most part, but you know what? Day is still early. We'll see if these guys show up.
See, a lot of them, it's called, I would say, misinformation through omission. If we don't talk about it, we don't send reporters, then we can deny it in the, we can deny it at the highest level. Just say, no, it doesn't matter. We can question it, say, it's misinformation. They're pushing it's conspiracy theory, because they don't show up. They seems to give them the motivation to lie or to misinform.
I don't think they're reporting the full story. I think they should come down here and they should get down on our level and come from a place of understanding. Right now, Jerry actually got the memo and he heard about this protest and what was happening, and he told all of his office staff to stay at home, including himself, and then he called the police on us.
Jerry come across all this stuff. He sent a letter out to us, and there was no discussion with us, no discussion with the membership at all. And every time we try and talk to the local or the national, we keep getting the same feedback. We're sorry, we're trying to do the better, for everybody and not just you guys. Well, you're here to represent us all. We all pay union dues. Yes. You represent everybody, and that's the unions across. And some of the unions are actually standing behind their people.
When push comes to shove, when this hard deadline kicks in, people have a gruesome choice to make. Either, bend the knee, get the jabs and keep your job, or how are you going to pay the mortgage? How are you going to put groceries on the table?
I couldn't imagine what's about to happen, not only for myself, but for everybody else with families, with little kids, wives, rent payments, mortgages, car payments, car loans, these type of things. When we get into this type of discussion, I don't think the government really understands the ramifications or what are about to happen next amongst a larger scale. And the fact that they've been pushing the fear and the propaganda to try to get everybody on board right now to think is just mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling.
Folks, can you imagine what's happened to our once great Dominion? Mandatory vaccine passports, get the jabs or lose your jobs, and not even get employment insurance. We think that's wrong. We're fighting back in the court and amassing signatures on a petition. Please go to fightvaccinepassports.com. That's fightvaccinepassports.com. Sign the petition, and if you're in a position where you can give a contribution, please do so.